this as is because we'll dial in some weather and different lighting settings here in a moment. What I do want to do is actually change this brick material here a little bit as well. Yeah, we can see it's a bit of a low-res brick that we have on there. I'm going to go into our brick folder. We have some clean brick. Let's go to clean brick. This looks pretty good. Clean brick 0.5. I'm going to scale it up just a little bit here as well. That looks pretty good, even the way it's wrapping around the window framing there. And I might want to update the color. Maybe it needs to be perhaps a little bit lighter. Not so red, perhaps. That's okay right there. So something like that I will bring into the scene. At any time, of course, I can come back and change any of these materials. And the way that we can do that is with our little material picker. So if I grab the material picker, I can grab any material in here and I can adjust the color on that. Perhaps I wanted that to be a tad bit red. We could do that. I'm going to go back to the brick and actually change that color back to something a little more deep, kind of auburn orange, maybe a little more towards red. That's fine. And then we can bring this out that we can see that we're starting to get some of those materials looking good. But what I do want to do is start to bring the rest of the surrounding area to life in here. So I'm going to go back into my materials. The cool thing about this workflow in here, you saw some dynamic materials using the water as an example of how quickly we can add that. I'm going to add some vegetation or some ground covering here with some grass. And this will be a good segue into the dynamic vegetation that we're going to use here.
Power.
add that in to a scenario by simply pulling it over, or even better yet, what we might want to do is another way that we can apply vegetation like that. We can't really see that from this distance, but I'm going to purposely actually move out a little bit from here, come over to this area, because we're going to look at how we can work with vegetation in a bit of a different way. So I've got in this little vegetation tab down here some effects.
Very ancient.
That would seem foolish to me.
Seven artifacts according to the myth. Overlords, they the children of men, sons of the cycles, masters of wisdom. Formed or not they as the children of men? 3, 4,
Wanna know what's blazing my ride? My favorite rapper, slick with the ruler, tell them the ruler's back now. Outcast in the flying saucer, Big Daddy Kane playing in the flying cars. What Wu-Tang frequencies in my Stardust Death Squad, Dipset, Junior Mafia, Boot Camp Click, Terror Squad and G-Unit, E40 in the click. CD I get play in my ride, CD I get play in my ride. This Scarface and that UTK, yeah, that still stay in my ride. Of course that J and that 9, of course that Big and that 5. We used to know all the words to my picture ones, I can't lie. We on the other bank, never looking back. We on the other bank, we on the other bank, we on the other bank. When they think they catching up, we on the other bank.
Together are all of my courage, instruments, many of my magics. Up then we rose on the wheels of glory. High we rose on
Once I stepped off the ship, I done changed the element. I'm back for business in the residence. We're trying to figure out what my weapon is. What they doing with the logo for preference. Yeah, something different. Don't confuse it. Got the scripters dancing to this kind of music. Gave them titanium so they used it. Show them transistors, they learned to fuse it. Remote control and they were so amused with it. Big crowds, the local loser. Fiber optics is the same fuel. They don't mind me showing them the future. Every day is getting more groovy. Found the youth like a cool movie. Microchips and integrated circuits. Night vision, singing like a crew. Take it all back to the Roswell. Somebody watching you like Rockwell. Saying you a full time we got here. But you don't even know that. Take it all back to the Roswell. Somebody watching you like Rockwell. Saying you a full time we got here. But you don't even know that.
yet ever confused with no open joking fast led weeping on the wings of the morning, fled to the
Take it back to the gold era. They looking at it like magic. The soul serum, so hard head. Doubts I never hear 'em. Brand new appear, the black superhero. They tried to poison us all. I brought the serum. They tried to get us with the bill, build the bow venom. But we spread our wings 'cause we fly peaks. Lost
but they're also spiritual clowns, and they're very, very strong. They're very give their lives to what they do and how they do things. And we, as Clown Nation today, is very few of us left. There's not too many of the clowns left anymore because of the test. A lot of it takes test, all kinds of arrangements that they have to do to make clown people today. But as time has went, Creator give a clown one time. I don't even remember this. I don't know nothing about this. It's whenever I went and gave a clown blessing, gave me a blessing. And what that clown did, he came from the clouds, very, very important, like figures and stuff in the clouds. And as I ran to my grandfather's house, this cloud was very angry at me. I could see it was angry. It would throw fear. It threw everything in me, So I ran to my grandfather's house. And before I could get into his yard and started to cross halfway in the yard, this lightning came and hit me and started wrapping around my legs. I could look down and I was still running yet, and I could see the lightning wrap around me. It was so hot when it exploded. It just flipped me over. And it flipped me back on my feet, and I kept running until I jumped on my grandfather's porch. Before I looked around, I could see smoke. I could see all kinds of things, and that's the first time I ever had an experience with lightning. So I didn't know anything about this. I didn't. Grandfathers around me, spiritual leaders, I went to them, and no one could explain about my curious ways, the things I do. Sometimes all the energy I had, I didn't know what to do with these energies and stuff. So I just went and put them on a holding bin. And since I couldn't find the answers, well, I went and put it on holding in a closet.
Two sets of clowns in every pueblo. One of them are the mudhead clowns, which are Kachina, and the other ones are what they call the Kushari, the Cosas, or the Nehueque, which are also the trickster clowns. And there's also two sets. The one that's got the gray with black stripes, or the medicine clown. The one that are striped this way, or the ones that are not medicine. Those are the first ones that came here to the pueblos, and they messed up, so they had to be replaced by the real guys. But so there's the orders are so intense when you come out there. You have to really learn about those things. But we still practice that to this day. So it's all connected with space. It's all connected with nature. Everything is interrelated with all the people in the sky, the inner world, and what we call the light world. We're in the light world right now. You go into the inner world, then there's a different group of people down there, and I go into that. I get together with Corey Good and David Wilcock, and I think if somebody saw the Gaia interview last September, we started talking about that, and I think we're going to continue more on that, from what I understand. Yeah, like I say, they control, they guide us, they keep Earth in balance, and one of the things that a lot of people don't understand is that in Hopi they say that the Kachina go to the San Francisco peaks, which is Flagstaff, Arizona.
Knows
The Konoha Tengu prefer to live in the mountains near the Shinto temples. They often play tricks on distracted monks, or punish the bad behavior of anyone who has committed wrong acts. In many stories, the Tengus help good-natured people who were lost in the forests or mountains. But they could also disorientate or set traps for those deemed arrogant or cruel. The Tengus were masters in martial arts, mainly in the use of swords. They could defeat the most skilled samurai even without using their powers. Due to their martial abilities, the Tengus are associated with war. Some even pretended to be human warriors to take part in the battles. Among their various skills,
The Kosharis are sacred entities of the Pueblo world. They've been translated as clowns, although they're deeper than Western ideals of clowns. They are taken very seriously, even though they may be humorous. They're playing with the dualities that exist in the world, life and death, male, female, native cultures and Western culture, the things we deal with as human beings all the time.